Now you can, if you want to, you can add things. I've added coconut into this before, and that comes out really nice. You can add chocolates, chocolate chips. You could add cocoa if you want. You could put nuts in it if you feel like it. Whatever suits your fancy. Okay, now, once again, we'll take the mixture with the salt and this Stevia side, and we can mix this in. This would be 1/2 teaspoon of Stevia side, 1 cup of almond milk, or if you're using soy milk, or whatever type of milk, coconut milk, and 1/2 tablespoon of salt. And this way it will disperse very nicely into the pie. And the milk, you want to use unsweetened, unflavored, because we're going to be putting the Stevia side, and we'll be putting the vanilla into it. So you want to have this nice and creamy like this, as opposed to water. Okay, now you know sugar will give it the bulking, and we'll go ahead, we're going to put another cup in here. Unsweetened almond milk. So total will be 24 ounces of unsweetened almond milk, or unsweetened coconut milk, or unsweetened soy milk. Okay, the consistency, as you can see, is a little thinner now. And we will just wait, and we'll let this thicken up a little bit while I clean up this mess that I've created. And then we'll be pouring it into the pumpkin pie, into the pie shell. Okay, so we've cleaned up again a little bit, and now we'll take the pumpkin off of the chopsticks, set those aside, and I'm going to take the whip now, crack the whip around this place, and we're going to try to make this a little bit more aerate it a little bit, make it a little bit creamier, and blend it a little bit more. Okay. Come in. All right, now what we'll do is we're going to fill the pie crust. And I'm going to try to do this without making a really big mess. I found that using a scoop and putting it in the middle of the pie crust seems to work the best way, rather than just pouring in. And that should be good there. If you can, well, let's put it this way, if you have to, then leave a little bit of space for the pie filling to rise. Otherwise what will happen is it kind of bubbles up over the edge of the crust. I personally like that, some people don't. All up to your taste. Now if you do have leftover, which it looks like we might, you could mix in some pastry flour and you can make muffins also. Or you can do it without pastry flour and just pour it into little cups and you'll have pumpkin pie filling cups. Which maybe we'll do that right now. Okay, the pumpkin pies are ready to go into the oven. We still have a little bit of the filling left. So what will happen, we're going to bake it, preheat the oven to 425, and then we're going to reduce it to 350 and we're going to bake it until we can take a knife and insert it and it pulls out clean. So I will see you after they're baked. Okay, so I've decided to just make some pumpkin pie filling, and you notice paper, not foil. Paper. Remember that pie crust companies. Paper. And each one of these are going to be the nice, delicious filling that's always inside the pumpkin pies. And I know you carboholics are always craving the crust. I do too sometimes, but this filling is really good. And I think you'll enjoy it. And these, by the way, when it comes down to something like this, you've cut out just about all the carbs, and you've cut out just about all of the fats as well, because most of the fats and most of the carb in this recipe are coming from the pie crust itself. The pie crust is very heavy in carbs and very heavy in fats. So by doing this, you can also, if you have people who are on Atkins or if you have diabetics that don't really get to partake in the pumpkin pie because of all the carbs and everything, this is an ideal way for them to go. And they still get the taste of pumpkin pie, and it's a nice dessert, and it's low in carbs, high in beta carotene, which is very good. And we will see you on the flip side. Okay, through the magic of YouTube and the video, these are all baked, fully baked, and you can see this is how the cupcakes came out, or the inside of the pie filling. When I put this in, and you can see, I don't know if you can get a close-up of this. Can you get a close-up of this knife so you can see that it's nice and clean? This is what you want it to look like when it comes out. I've tested the pies so you can see that that's the case, and I gotta tell you, when I was testing before, it tasted so sweet and nice and cinnamony and pumpkin. It just really, really good. You will love this when you do it. So let's go over the ingredients again. It's 1/2 teaspoon of stevia. I prefer Jaja stevia that you get from Emperor's Herbologist because it tastes the best. There's nothing it's pure product, and it tastes much better than anything else that I've ever had. Then there would be 1 tablespoon of ground cinnamon, or you could put a little more or a little less to taste. 1 teaspoon of salt. You have 1 tablespoon of pumpkin pie spice. You can get that pre-mixed, or you could put in 1/2 to about 1/2 teaspoon of ground ginger and 1/2 teaspoon of ground cloves. You'd have 4 large eggs, 28 or 29 ounce can of pumpkin, pure pumpkin, or you could use 2 of the 15 ounce cans, and you'd use 24 ounces of a milk substitute, unsweetened. So it would be either unsweetened coconut, unsweetened almond, like I did here, or unsweetened soy. And then you'd have 2 unbaked 9-inch 4-cup volume deep dish pie shells. And then that's what you get. If you have anything extra, you can make the pie filling like this. And you can fill those up actually, so they would be good for desserts for diabetics, people who are counting carbs, that don't want all the fat and everything that you would get in the crust. And with that, I'll leave you. Enjoy, and let me know how the recipe turns out for you. Oh, by the way, for the cooking time, the temperature, it would be 350 degrees, and you'd bake till the time comes that you can take a knife, you can put it in, and when you pull it out, the knife is clean, like what you saw. That could take 40 minutes, could take an hour, somewhere within that range is what it should take. It's all going to depend on your oven. And what you can do once you've got it very close, if you want to save a little bit of energy, turn off the oven, let the heat still continue to bake it. After you're done baking it, put it on a rack. Now what we've done is, because the old stove had died, so we took the rack out and reusing the racks, and then we're using those kind of like baking racks. And it works really good. Okay, see you next time.